Okay, so I did as I showed you. I had the stencil over the modelling paste and I've gone in with the gold paint. I took that off and then I just touched up any edges that look white. So now we can see what this looks like. We can decide if we want any more in the background. So this distress crayon that I showed you, I'm going to add some touches around this edge, just using this. You can water these down, you can use these through stencils, you can add to a mist bottle and add water, make your own sprays. They're really, really good. So they're similar to gelatos. So I'm just gonna rub little bits of this over this corner. And it's not as shiny as the gold paint, so they don't clash too much. So I'm just using this just to pick out a few areas. Without going too much. And so that's pretty much our background. So now it's time to start playing with these pieces that we cut out. So we don't want to lose all of this, so we'll need to work around that. So I've now decided I don't need this piece because our space isn't that big. So what I'm going to start doing is working out where I want to lay these and using some foam squares and foam tape. I'm going to layer these up. So it's just going to be playing around to see where we feel they fit. And we will bring in our metal elements. And I'm going to also, I think, cut some circles and shapes out of these, maybe back some of the elements. So I'm going to go away and play with all the shapes that I've cut out, and we'll come back and see. I've also gathered some bigger metal elements. These aren't in the kit, these are from my own stash. You can pick these up fairly cheaply, so I might use some of those as well in combination. So I will go away and do that and I will come back. Before I just go and show you the layering, I've just pulled a few extra bits to go along with the pieces. So I've got a couple of chipboards, wooden bits, found a nice tag. I've taken also the distress crayon, and where the die cuts had some white bits, I've just added that and then rubbed that into that to colour those white bits. And I've done the same on these chipboards. I've got a couple of bits of chipboard and I've just run the crayon over there and then rubbed that in. There's a bit of grey board. Some of the cork, that's a piece of cork that's in your pack, so you can die cut that, cut something out. So here's a little circle of cork. So now I'm going to do what I said, I'm going to lay this all up. So I'm going to mix together the die cuts we have with all these elements, metals as well, and yeah, we're going to layer that up and I will come back once I'm at that bit. Okay, so we've layered up metals, the cork, the die cuts. This is some chipboard, it's a piece of tag, and on this corner same, some chipboard, wood, metal, a key, and chipboard in this corner. And just to finish, I'm going to bring in the beads and the micro beads. So I'm going to just go into areas with some glue. This is just Tombow glue I'm using, but any is fine. I'm just going to add some of the beads. just give a little bit of sparkle, oops, and a bit of texture. And then in this bigger bit, I'll go in with the bigger beads. So we want a bit more glue here. So I'll pop a few of those in there. And try and use a glue that dries obviously clear, because you don't want that to show. You can use gel, anything that, you know, whatever your preference is. But try and make it, I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world if it's not, but it will look better if you use a clear one, just where you've not covered that glue. Then that's not going to show. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to add a few extra to that top one. So I'll show you. So there's the big beads and the smaller beads. So that will dry clear. And to just finish, I'm going to add a word. These alphas I'm going to show you, they're the sweater weather ones that we've got on the website at the moment. I just thought they would go quite well. So I'm going to put the word cog, because it's quite a small canvas obviously, so I don't want to do too much more. So let's see, where should it go? Up here, do we think? Or maybe down in this corner? Should just fit. Bring this down a little bit. And that's, for me, that's quite shiny compared to the rest. So I'm just going to take my distress crayon and just dull this a little bit, just to take a bit of that shine off. Not too much, but just to take that edge off. And you'd probably need to seal that if you're going to do that, because this is on a slippery surface, so if you wipe that now, that's going to come off. So I would just go over that with some gel maybe. So that is it. And so we've got different textures, different materials, lots of patterns. So I chose a chipboard with a swirl, so it's like the cogs. We've got the shiny paper. We've got the matte paper in the background from the tissue paper. We've got beads, we've got metals, and we've got lots and lots of layering going on. So you could just hang this, you could put it in a frame. You could add this as a centerpiece or something of a bigger canvas maybe. You could do a layered canvas. So I'm really quite pleased with that. I wasn't too sure, I'll be honest, as I was going, but now it's finished, I'm quite happy, because I wasn't sure about the size of it if I was making it too busy, but actually now it's done, I'm quite pleased. And I've managed to keep the majority of this lovely stenciling. So some of those areas are still wet, so that will dry clear. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So I'm hoping that this is going to inspire your own makes. And maybe if you don't use canvases normally, this will give you some ideas. So you could use this in a scrapbook page. But remember to maybe start with a chipboard, 12 by 12 or something heavy, and then pop your scrapbook paper on top. Then you could add this. Maybe, you make albums. So this could be an album cover. This could be a photo frame if you do altered photo frames. So there's all sorts of things you could use this for, and I find these small canvas pieces are really good for practicing those techniques. So if it's something you're new to, this is a great size to start on, and then you can work your way up to the bigger canvases. So I really hope that's helped give you some ideas, and I'd love to see yours. So do pop along and share your own photos with us when you get your kit. And if you don't have the kit, you know, pull out your own stash and see what you can do. So we've got paints here, and then the die cuts I've used, but you know, I'm sure you may have a die cut machine. You can make some of your own cogs. You must have chipboards probably somewhere, all bits and bobs you can use up here to make this project. So even if you don't have the kit, you could give this a go still. So bye bye for now, and we'll be back with more projects soon.